So SecurID was released about 35 years ago by Security Dynamics, and it was originally called the ACE server. So I'll give bonus points to anybody that can get back to me and tell me what does ACE server stand for. She knows. About 15 years ago, in 2002, we released Authentication Manager in version 6.1. It was recognized as a very stable product. It was a black box, you plugged it in, it ran in the closet, never had to get touched, and it really ran well. It was designed to run on top of an OS, ran typically on Windows Server or on Solaris. We introduced some self-service capabilities for local users, but that was really limited. When we released version 7 in 2004, we did a complete rework of the product. Looking back, it was probably not a good idea. We switched out the replication to use Oracle Streams, and we used the Java base to do it. Unfortunately, it became recognized as an extremely unstable product. We did get the stability fixed by Service Pack 4, but that took a lot of updates to get there. So it ran on top of another OS, just like version 6, Windows Server or Solaris. We introduced some self-service capabilities with something called the Credential Manager. At that point, it did require access to the primary so you can get self-services, which means people were doing things like exposing the primary server through a reverse proxy, which really is not great security. At some point during our update services within version 7, we introduced CTKIP, which means Secure Delivery of Software Tokens. But again, we required you to have access to the primary to do it. As time went, we released Appliance 2.0, which is the very first version we released SecurID with a pre-installed OS base as a turnkey box. About 4 years ago, we released SecurID version 8. Absolutely the most stable product we ever released. We went back to a SQL-based database and replication, and our customers, just because of the version 7, really needed proof of a stable product, and version 8 delivered. We took and delivered it on a base of SUSE Linux. We maintained it, we provide the patch updates. It really helped for support and stability of the product. We provided a full Radius engine. We took steel-belted Radius and built it right into the Authentication Manager server. And we also released it when we got to 8.1 as a VM image, meaning we had to go back to delivering it as an appliance on an image. When we released it, it did include self-service, but the difference here is we provided a web tier, a standalone app that ran and was designed to live in the DMZ. That provided capabilities of CTKIP to the outside without providing access to the primary. It introduced the ability for a risk engine, so we could provide risk-based authentication to things like Outlook Web App and other web services, IIS and Apache. We also introduced SMS for on-demand authentication in this version as well. About 3 years ago now, we released 8.1. Now 8.1 was a significant step because not only did we have the VM image that was released in 8.0, when we updated it to 8.1, we released Appliance 3.0. It's the first time we had a version that didn't matter whether you were running a VM image or a hardware appliance. You can mix and match, back up from one, and run in the other. As service packs came out, we released the capabilities of not only having installed in VMware, but we provided Hyper-V, a physical appliance, and as I said, the ability to move from one version to another and have all coexist in the same environment. 8.2 was released about a year ago. We introduced the access component, which gives you the ability to provide identity assurance, and it gave you the ability to protect both cloud apps and on-prem with a single user experience. It took a completely different twist on a risk-based that not only expands risk-based to the cloud, but the entire environment. It really did change the authentication market forever.